What is up, everybody? Welcome to Crunch Time. You know the drill. Early show, 11:30 Central. It's, afternoon for you folks on the East Coast. Joined by two of the sharpest minds in the biz. We got my guy TJ in the house, rocking the Agents of Freedom tee, looking fresh. What's happening, TJ?
Doing well, ready to dive in, feeling rejuvenated today. Only playing one lineup on this slate because I didn't wake up early enough to get in more, but that's all right. We got Grinders live later today. It's a fun day of baseball.
All day long, baby. We also have some great hitting weather. Like, this is the first week where really these are like summer temperatures, games in the 90s, winds blowing out, dew points in the 70s. There are spots, including Kansas City, where it's just about as good as it gets for hitting, save for like winds in Wrigley blowing out. This is like that next tier of as good as you could reasonably expect for the weather to be for bats. So that's exciting. I'm pumped about that. We got my guy Taylor in the house as well. I love the Agents of Fandom shirt, but I like the old school Astros look even more, man. What up, Taylor?
Yeah, shout out to Hobby Airport. Got this
Nice.
at the airport, so one of those. Yeah, pretty nasty slate. Nothing says grinder like playing this late on Thursday with no pitching, but yeah, we're all in together, so we can persevere.
Okay,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm feeling a little self-conscious. Taylor looks like he's been up for a couple hours, had a coffee, had a shower already today,
He's
a fresh
ready.
new haircut, nice shirts, and I'm just sitting here. I've been awake for like 30 minutes, and hair's all over the place. Sleep still in my eyes.
Figure. That's all right. You know what? I feel like a lot of people who are watching are in your camp as well. So we're all here, man. Taylor, you said Hobby. Was this a recent trip? By the way, good choice going Hobby Airport and not IAH. That airport is an absolute nightmare. Was this recent or this school?
Yeah, Memorial Day, I was there for my nephew's high school graduation. So
Memorial High?
I was recently. He actually went to Stratford, so the rival school.
Yeah, nice. That's where my kids are from.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. All right. Hey, with the pleasantries aside, we do have a slate that we've got to break down and dive into. And Taylor, I'm going to give you I did have Detroit earlier tagged as yellow, and I now fully take that back. I have it as a green yellow, and I'm much more so leaning green. I don't expect any issues. I don't think any of these games in this slate have any rain concerns, nor do I think any games in the late slate have any rain concerns. But for what you need to know as far as weather goes, there is no rain issues. The weather in Baltimore is really good for hitting. The weather in Kansas City is outrageous for hitting. The weather in St. Louis, really good for hitting. And we'll hold off on that because the night slate has some as well. But that's all you need to know weather-wise. So with that out of the way, Taylor, tell me what this slate means to you. What does it mean to you, Taylor? What does it mean to you?
Well, I also am only playing one lineup because everything was pretty much filled by the time I got around to it. So the pitching is pretty rough. It's not like the worst pitching slate I've ever seen, but you're not going to really feel great about anything. I guess the best, quote unquote, best pitcher would be Nestor Cortez, but tough matchup at Kansas City in the hitting weather.
Oh, yeah.
For him. Lance Lynn is someone that I assume is going to be owned today against the Pirates in the game, obviously with good hitting weather in St. Louis, but the Pirates are pretty punchless. Today's lineup is extremely low power, decent amount of strikeouts in there. I don't like it, but I could see why Lance Lynn would be chalk on this slate compared to last week's. There were plenty of alternatives to him last week, and he flatlined against the Rockies. On this slate, I'm more inclined to just kind of eat that because he's cheap. It's probably the best matchup on the slate. So it is what it is.
So the last time that he was out there, he sucked against the Rockies?
Yeah, at home, not even at Coors Field. But
yeah, that's not good, man.
He's not good or young anymore, but no one's really that good. Like Reynaldo Lopez is due for regression. He's the most expensive pitcher on DK, but he's only 8'9", but you're not really, I mean, he's going to be popular by default because everyone's going to be somewhat popular, maybe except Alec Marsh and Patrick Corbin on this slate. Lopez faces the Orioles, though, so it's a tough spot. regression could easily come for him today. Mitch Keller is super priced up on FanDuel, but on DK is only 8K. He's also in St. Louis, but that lineup hasn't been all that productive for most of the season. Keller's kind of bounced back a little bit. I could see him he's projecting to be quite popular on DK. And then Casey Mize is kind of the cheapie that stands out, I think, on DraftKings. 6K flat against the Nationals at home. He hasn't been good either. Not a very high strikeout guy. He's had injuries over the years, but I can see why you'd play him just for the savings. I'm in my one lineup. I do have him with Lance Lynn. It is what it is. You're not going to love what you're doing. Cole Irvin, I guess, against the Braves, because the Braves have not been the Braves this season, is also in play, but he's 7-7 on DK, so he's not even cheap. There's really no clarity at pitching. I think Lance Lynn is quote-unquote the best guy, but if you hate Lance Lynn and don't want to play him, I do not fault you one bit.
Okay. TJ, first I'll ask what would be your pairing if you were playing cash? Like, what do you think is the optimal pairing? But then also, I know you're playing tournaments. You're trying to take down a tournament. So what are you doing in tournaments? Hi, Shadow. Hello.
Yeah, Steve says hello. He loves coming and bothering me while I work now. Ever since the baby got here, this is his favorite place to be while I'm working, is right on top of me.
I love it.
In cash, it's Mitch Keller and Lance Lynn. They're both going to be like 50-ish% owned. They're in the same game. They got the extreme pitchers umpire, while no one else has anything better than a neutral umpire. They project the best. They're going to be the highest owned. You're running those two in cash games today. In single entry, I think my favorite thing to do is same thing as Taylor, but the opposite, and go Mize instead of Lynn, as opposed to Mize instead of Keller. Keller's would be the one that the chalky pitcher I'd want to play. Lynn would be the chalky one I'd be more comfortable fading. And Mize would be my favorite way to go about that. If I were playing 150, I would still be rolling out a lot of Cole Irvin. I'd still be rolling out some Reynaldo Lopez, but I would probably play 15 to 20% Patrick Corbin against Detroit, just because he's going to be 4% owned on a small slate with terrible pitching. If he somehow comes away with 15 points, that's probably going to be optimal. So if I was playing 150 lineups, I would get way over the field on Patrick Corbin and feel terrible about it.
Fun. Good times. You didn't mention Nestor Cortez, and kind of the start of this was he is the quote unquote best pitcher on the slate, skill wise, talent wise. TJ, any interest if you were running 150? Like how much Cortez would, or let's say you were running 20. That's more reasonable.
I probably still wouldn't. Most expensive pitcher side to Lopez. Him and Lopez are the two I probably just wouldn't do a ton anyways. They're facing such good offenses. Cortez hasn't been near as sharp recently. And I never really like taking pitchers against Kansas City.
Okay, fair enough. Guys, let's flip the script. We talked about some of the best pitchers are in some of the best hitting weather, but I'm hoping there's also some good hitters in the hitting weather game, specifically KC, St. Louis. TJ, what are we doing stack-wise?
So the Yankees are by far the top stack on the board today. They got almost a 6 total in that big heat game in Kansas City, going up against arguably the worst pitcher on the slate, a bottom 3 pitcher on the slate. So
love it.
Yankees are the top option by a lot. Aaron Judge is going to be 40% owned, but I think that's chalk you just eat, because Aaron Judge is the best power hitter we've seen in our lifetime. Torres is going to be super chalky. Volpe is going to be super chalky. Soto is going to be super chalky. They all are. I do think you can still stack this team and get a little bit different by going Rizzo, Mize, Wells, include them in your stacks. But New York is number 1. Number 2, I think, is Kansas City and Detroit. Detroit is going to be super chalky going up against Corbin. They have the second highest total on the slate, which is why I would want to place them. Patrick Corbin, just because it's a chalky Detroit team. Yes, they have a high total, but it's still chalky Detroit. So that would be the one I'd probably choose to go a little underweight on here. And to me, it's New York 1, Detroit and Kansas City 2, but I'd want to go underweight on Detroit. All the other teams are basically in the exact same bucket. All totals between 4.25 and 4.5. Atlanta and Baltimore probably have the highest upside of that group, but Atlanta's been not great, and Baltimore is facing probably the second best pitcher on the slate. But Baltimore doesn't have a single player right now projecting for double-digit ownership, and it's a 4-game slate. So they're my favorite tournament stack by far.
Okay, great. Taylor, what are you doing stack-wise?
Yeah, there's not much else to differentiate with. I think the Cardinals are worth a shout just because Keller's going to be popular on DK, and they're cheap, and it is a game with great hitting weather in St. Louis. So perfectly fine with the Cardinals on this slate. Like if I was playing one lineup, which I am, it will have a Cardinal stack in it just because I'm not playing Keller, so might as well play against him. If this slate were happening last year, I think Atlanta would probably be the heavy chalk, but they just haven't been the same team this season. Obviously, Acuna is not there anymore, but Cole Irvin is a low strikeout lefty, even in a park that suppresses righty power now in Baltimore. Atlanta is the standout stack. I still think, again, they're probably going to score 2 runs and tilt you to no end, but it is what it is. It's easier to deal with on an ugly 4-game slate. But Yankees and Royals should be heavy chalk. Tigers should also be chalky. So
Taylor said if you're going to lose, it might as well be on a slate that's gross.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Like, your stack's going to suck. I mean, the chances of someone getting like 15 runs tonight is lower than, if there's a 15-game slate. So even if your stack sucks, maybe you can still win on a 4-game slate.
You never know.
The Yankees are going to put up 15 runs, though, so that's the thing.
Yeah, that's good because I've got the over in that game. I think it was over 10.5. It's my scores and odds. Make sure you sign up for scores and odds. You can get bets like that whenever you want, and you don't have to count on me to give it to you for free. What else do we have? I think we go around the horn. We talk some position by position here, and make sure you're hitting that thumbs up on the YouTube. It's free content. We want the eyeballs. That's it. We don't want your money. We don't want your money. We just want your eyeballs, your appreciation, and your thumbs up, and also your money. I'll do a promo read later, but first your thumbs up, then your money later. Taylor, what are we doing at the catcher spot?
Yeah, it's not as good as it usually is. Sal Perez is probably the top overall option if you can afford him. In that awesome Kansas City game against Cortez. Jake Rogers should be popular for Detroit. Platoon advantage hitting 8th, but Patrick Corbin's a gas can, so Jake Rogers looks fine enough. Austin Wells in your Yankee stack also hitting 8th, but guy hitting lefty against Alec Marsh, perfectly fine. Adley Rutschman would be the lower owned pay up. I think Perez is going to be a lot more popular than him, but Rutschman is a high upside hitter in his own right, so perfectly fine with him. And Travis d'Arnaud is probably the only other one on my radar, 4K flat on DK against Cole Irvin.
Very nice. TJ, your thoughts at catcher?
From like a cash perspective, if it's really just whichever one fits your lineup, but play this position last. If you need the salary savings, you do Jake Rogers. If you, my personal favorite would probably be Austin Wells, but if you have 4K remaining and you can get up to Travis d'Arnaud, you just do that. If you absolutely needed the 2.1K punt, I don't even think it's crazy to do that either with Drew Millis at 2.1K.
Okay. First base.
Quite a bit stronger than catcher, but still not a good, really strong position today. I do like Matt Olson in a lefty getting a little bit different in tournaments. Ryan O'Hearn for the Baltimore today is probably my favorite tournament play. Same with Pasquantino in the lefty. All guys you can get at low ownership today. In cash, you're probably playing Mark Canha. And if you're not playing Mark Canha, you're playing DJ LeMahieu there. So one of those two fairly cheap guys, 4K or 3,500, Canha or LeMahieu, both are totally fine.
Okay.
But Rowdy Tellez at 2.6K bouting to 5th today, I also love.
Taylor first.
Yeah, I pretty much nailed it. Goldschmidt, if you're stacking the Cardinals, is probably someone you definitely want to have. He's only 3,800 now on DraftKings because he's been terrible, but it is what it is on this slate. Anthony Rizzo, certainly fine, even though he hasn't been good for a long time either. But LeMahieu at the same position. You can also play LeMahieu at 3rd, so you can play them both together. Ditto for Gio Urshela in the Tiger lineup. First base, third base eligible. Canha is going to be more popular, I would think, but Urshela's cheaper and fine too if you land there.
Second base.
Second base, Gleyber Torres should be the chalk, hitting fifth for the Yankees with good reason. Andy Ibanez hitting second for the Tigers. You can play him at second or third. I think it probably makes more sense to play him here at second. Nolan Gorman, power hitting lefty for the Cardinals, looks good to me, under 4K on DraftKings. Ozzie Albies, if you're paying all the way up, over the years he's been better as a right-handed hitter, which he will be today against Cole Irvin. So he looks great if he's going to come in under-owned compared to guys like Torres and Ibanez. That's really it. Jose Fermin is 2K flat on DraftKings in the Cardinal lineup, but I think he makes more sense at third, but he's kind of blocked by Arenado and Gorman at these positions, so not a priority.
Okay. TJ, any other names you want to add at second?
Torres is the top option by far. Gorman would be my favorite pivot for tournaments just because he should be $1,000 more expensive. I really like Westberg for low ownership, and then the Fermin punt I think is a good call too.
Great. Third base, TJ.
Ibanez, Veerling, LeMahieu, all strong options today who are going to pick up lots of ownership. That's why I talked about not minding the Detroit fade today, just because all these guys are picking up such heavy ownership. Michael Garcia at 4,600, picking up much lower ownership. I like today quite a bit. And then the aforementioned Westberg and Fermin.
Taylor, your thoughts at third?
Yeah, we haven't really talked about the Pirates, but stacking against a chalky Lance Lynn is always viable on a slate like this. So Ke'Bryan Hayes leading off for the Pirates is a decent value. You're probably playing him over Jared Triolo in the same lineup. Both are only third base eligible, so Hayes just looks a lot better. Not much else to add. Austin Riley, of course, you can continue to be tilted by him. Expensive right-handed hitter against Cole Irvin, but I think TJ kind of ran it down pretty well.
Shortstop, your top overall play is going to be Bobby Witt, but that's going to lead to pretty low ownership, I think, on Gunnar Henderson, which is something that should be exploited if you're entering multiple lineups. Henderson against Reynaldo Lopez looks great to me. CJ Abrams, another perfectly fine pay up against Mize for the Nationals. Volpe leading off for the Yankees should be quite popular too, along with Witt. The cheaper salary. Don't mind O'Neill Cruz, another lefty to throw at Lance Lynn. He's also pretty affordable. And Mason Wynn back to the Cardinals leading off for them. Another guy under 4K. TJ, short.
Playing Volpe in cash, O'Neill Cruz and Bobby Witt Jr. are just two absolutely fantastic tournament plays, especially Bobby Witt. CJ Abrams, and Gunnar Henderson, I think, are just both incredible in tournaments today, really low ownership. So I'd be wanting to get up to my guy Gunnar as much as possible.
Okay. And just seeing in the chat, some other people saying jam Gunnar in. Eric says Gunnar's probably a Spidey bomb. Well, we might find out soon. How many likes do we need, TJ?
Let's go. How many people we got on YouTube? 150. Let's go. 40 likes for the first, 60 likes for the second Spidey bomb.
Okay. We shall see. Outfield.
All right. Outfield position today. Judge is a must, even though he's expensive, even though he is chalky. Aaron Judge is still a must. He's probably going to have 3 home runs today. And they're going to go 604 feet each. Veerling would be the one I'd be most apt to fade. I like Brian Reynolds. Same with Wenceel Perez. He's batting 7th for Detroit, and he's going to be almost 20% owned. Like, I'm just going to go elsewhere. I really like Nelson Velasquez. I like Adam Duvall, even if it's just as a one-off. Same with Marcell Ozuna. He's expensive, but he's still really good, and he's less than 10% owned on a 4-game slate. Anthony Santander, 4% projected ownership. Baltimore still has a 4.5 total today. Reynaldo Lopez is due for regression. Baltimore's hit the most home runs in baseball. They've been one of the best offenses in the league. I just love these guys at such low ownership today.
Yeah. Okay. Taylor, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's crazy to see Judge pushing 7K on DK, but it's entirely warranted. Oof. He might crack it at some point. So that'll be fun. But he looks phenomenal. So they have 4 Yankees. The Yankees have 4 outfielders in the lineup today. Stanton is not one of them. Verdugo and Trent Grisham are cheaper. Perfectly fine with them in addition to Judge and Soto. I like the Ozuna call, Riley Green, even lefty against Patrick Corbin. No problem with that. Going back to the Cardinals with Alec Burleson hitting second. He's only 3,400. This whole lineup is just wildly affordable. Not that it helps you a ton, but you can get some pretty good one-offs, Judge, with guys like that if you stack them. Yeah. Brian Reynolds. The Pirates also have 4 outfielders in, but Brian Reynolds is the standout hitting second for them against Lynn. Jack Sawinski, decent power hitter, also from the left side. Don't mind one bit. And the Nationals are okay against Mize. I'm playing Mize, even though I don't want to, but Eddie Rosario, Jesse Winker hitting third and fourth, decent power hitting lefties that look decent enough.
Nice. Okay. Jake says, if you stack the Braves, be prepared for disappointment, which is basically what you said. You're like, I'm stacking the Braves, but I'm prepared for disappointment, right?
Yeah, every day. It's the complete opposite of last season where you stack them and win all the money every night. But
yeah, good times. Good times. Mitchell says, Roth, are the Mavs coming back from 03? Let's just get your questions in, by the way. I'm just going to rant real quick. I have loathed watching Luka for a long time, even as a Mavs fan, because he's so freaking lazy. And last night, 2 plays in a row, he shot a 3, flopped on the ground, sat there and bitched at the refs. Well, they got freebie dunks going the other way. It's like he doesn't realize that this is the NBA Finals, that playing defense, that getting back on defense fucking matters. He just infuriated me last night to a point where I've never been. Just his off-ball D, he's just staring at the ball, backdoor cuts, like just grade school stuff that he's not doing and costing his team the game. And it's like it doesn't click. He's still just bitching at the refs. So no. Are they going to come back from 03? No, because their star player doesn't try. He just doesn't try. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care, TJ. He doesn't care. And I'm just so mad. I'm so mad about it.
I mean, he was playing some pretty good defense and was lights out for the first 2 games, and they still didn't stand a chance. So,
was he? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's really, these are the 3. My team is finally in the NBA Finals, and they've been the least enjoyable experiences of my life.
It simply comes down to, like, you can't be having Derek Jones Jr., Maxi Kleber, et cetera, running out big minutes a game when you're facing a team that has 6 borderline all-stars.
Yeah. Mari Donizzi says
borderline all-stars.
Mari says LeBron does that too. He does, but LeBron has a switch that he turns on sometimes. Like regular season, LeBron does that all the time. But LeBron turns this switch on when it matters, or at least when he was younger. And to see Luka do it now at 23, to be that lazy and that entitled, just, I don't know, was he 25? I don't know how old he is. It just pisses me off.
I don't remember LeBron ever sitting down either. And
someone in chat telling Roth to stick to baseball. This is clearly their first time here.
Yeah. They're not losing
baseball lover, Kevin Roth.
Yeah, right. Stick to baseball. You definitely don't want me going on a baseball rant because I've never watched a game in my life. All right. That was my rant. Hopefully that bought some people some time to go ahead and get in. Luka will never have a chase down block in his career. That is accurate.
He's no Derek White.
No, I freaking love Derek. I love the way that guy plays. I'm a big Derek White fan. All right. We need some home run picks. Hopefully that bought y'all some time to figure it out. Taylor, I'm going to come to you first while TJ checks the likes for the potential Spidey bombs.
We're 4 short of the first one. We need way more people smashing the like button right now. Take your mouse, slide it over, give it a little click. It's free. It's easy to do if you're watching on your phone. Well, watch that.
Give it a little click-a-rooney.
We're going to go YouTube.
You're going to do it?
I'm going to do it.
There you go.
I mean, I've already clicked the like button. Oh, right there at the top. There's us.
There we are.
Bang.
Yeah, there we are. Ooh,
it's not going to be there. You can't just hit the like button. It's not that easy. You got to go hide chat, and then you hit the like button. It's right there. Then you can pull the chat right back up. It's nice and easy. First
I feel like that tutorial, that tutorial probably bought us enough time. There's 4 new likes now. What do we got?
Since it took a while, I'm not going super sneaky. Well, the people called the one, but he's plus 400 on DraftKings. Gunnar Henderson is, I believe, second in home runs this year behind Aaron Judge. If I'm not mistaken, maybe Ohtani's a little ahead too. I don't have the list in front of me, but this dude should not be plus 400. Gunnar Henderson, Spidey Bomb #1.
Okay, very good. Taylor, you got a name for me? Maybe two. I'll make you do 2.
How about 3?
Love it.
Aaron Judge.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, how about 2? How about 2?
Okay, Anthony Santander, same game as Gunnar
Love
Henderson. And let's go Jack Sawinski, sleeper for the Pirates.
Very good. Pete Alonso plus 390 to homer. You know, I'm on that Pete Alonso bet. What are we doing? Oh, we got to take some QQs. Somebody's at the door. I cannot answer that. That's unfortunate. Here we go. Thoughts on a Washington stack, TJ, if they're going to be lower owned relative to the slate?
Yes, there will be. Washington will be low owned against a bit of a chalky KC Myers too. So I like them as a stack quite a bit. Even as a mini stack, just rolling some like CJ Abrams, Lance Thomas, Eddie Rosario. But they do have the full-on punt catcher you can use. You got Jesse Winker batting third. I do like Washington today.
Okay, sounds good. This question for me, which store is better to buy brooms, Target or Walmart? I think for brooms, you want to go to Walmart. If you go to Target, you're going to end up buying 20 other things. Walmart, you can get the one thing that you want and not be distracted. I think my answer is Walmart because Target has way too much other stuff that will distract you. Taylor, I think we got a question for you. Hang on.
Let's go.
10 mics away from the next Spidey Bomb. Let's get him up. It's come on. It's so easy. Just get 10 more people. Smash that like button. It's a really, really good plus 500 pick for the next one.
Okay. All right. Keller Irvin, Taylor. Any interest in Keller Irvin?
Yeah, just because nothing looks good, so it looks as good as anything else. I don't think Irvin will be all that popular either, so perhaps an ownership discount on him.
Okay. Not a whole lot of questions coming in. Just FYI, we've got about 6 minutes until lockup. If we run out of questions, we're going to stop. Gregorius the Wise says, TJ, how good is the new season of The Boys? Did you get a sneak peek? Because I think it comes out in like a week.
It comes out today. It's out, and it's out now. The first 3 episodes are now out. I haven't got a chance to watch them yet, actually. It was one of my fellow Agents of Fandom members, Adam Blevins, who is writing the recaps for The Boys, and so he got the early reviews. The first 2, our first reviews of the first 2 episodes are up at agentsfandom.com. I haven't watched yet. I have a busy day today. My recaps that I'm doing are for the new Star Wars show, The Acolyte, as well as the animated show, My Adventures with Superman right now. And so I got one of those to write as soon as I'm done this. And then I hope I'm going to be able to sneak in an episode before Grinders Live, but if not, that's going to be on the docket tonight.
Okay. Very good. That kind of sounds glorious. What's the movie? The new movie that just came out on Netflix. It's getting a lot of Hitman. Yes. Have you seen it?
It's not on Netflix Canada, and it only came to theaters, but because it's like a select theaters movie, my wife and baby were out of town last Friday night. And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm going to go to Hitman. I'm going to go to a movie. I'm going to go see Hitman. And it wasn't there. It didn't show up in theaters till Saturday here. And so we haven't been able to get a babysitter to go see it yet. And it is not on Netflix Canada, but I've only heard good things.
Yeah. You got to like VPN it. You're techie. Can't you VPN into like my Netflix? I'll give you my Netflix account. I don't know how it works. We'll figure it out.
The problem is I can't mess with VPNs because of like, I don't want to mess up DFS related stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's not King Mana says Hitman is on Netflix. It's not on Netflix Canada. It's not here yet. Yeah. And so that's why I'm having the issue with it. But also Inside Out 2 in theaters this weekend for those with kiddos or for those with emotions. I know not everyone here in the chat has emotions, but Inside Out 2 also in theaters. We got interviews for that show dropping in the next couple days too.
Very nice. We have eaten enough time to get an actual baseball question. Chad says your favorite 2 pitchers in DK Cash. It was just the two dudes at the top. TJ, what were they?
Keller and Lynn in Cash.
Yeah. I will be watching Hitman tonight. So I will give you my review, TJ. I will let you know. That is.
And I want you to give me the review of the movie, but also tell me, because like in an age where for a long time people were saying like there's no movie stars anymore.
Is this guy a movie? Is he the next star?
Tell me, is Glenn Powell going to be a movie star?
Yeah,
I think you have to watch Twisters to get the answer to that question.
Bro,
Twisters, Top Gun
so
2,
glad you
like
said
he's been popping.
Yep. I cannot wait for Twisters. Obviously, I'm a freaking weatherman. Twister is an amazing movie. This is not
right
surprising.
Up your alley.
But oh my God, like you got to go in IMAX, your biggest screen possible with the best sound. I am like overly pumped for Twisters. I think that movie's going to be awesome. Let's see. Squirrel has a dot on a player named Bobby Witt Jr. I've never heard of him. Any insights? Like I've heard of him. If you gave me a lineup of like 5 people and you said pick out Bobby Witt Jr., I would have 0% chance. Quite honestly, I don't even know if he's white or black. I have no idea who this man is. He could shake my hand and introduce himself as Bobby, and I would still have no idea who Bobby Witt Jr. is. I don't watch baseball. I'm sorry. That's the truth of it. Torres or Garcia Jr. TJ, I'm stacking Nats and Yankees.
Sorry, one more time. I was talking about movie stars in chat.
Wait, is he really Dominican? I meant to add or Hispanic. It's baseball. I was like, that's not right.
He's American.
Okay, all right, but that doesn't. Torres or Garcia Jr. I'm stacking Nats and Yankees. TJ.
It doesn't have much about his. I would go Torres, but it doesn't have much about his heritage on Wikipedia, if I'm being honest.
Okay, there he is. Okay. Does he have a mullet? Is that a mullet?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Kind of like you'd expect, I think. Like if you had to guess what Bobby Witt Jr. looked like,
that actually is. Yeah, like that is what I had in my mind. I now take back thinking about the 5 guys picked out of a lineup just on name clues.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got? Oh man, MT Red Sox. I didn't even get. I'm such an idiot. He asked about the best store to buy brooms, and I didn't even realize he was just absolutely dragging the Mavs for the sweep. I just took it like
I thought you were committing to the bid. I thought you were just committing to the bid.
I didn't even realize it. I just thought he randomly was going to buy a broom.
And you got an authentic answer.
I'm not in a good spot right now, guys. I'm struggling after last night. It shouldn't have gone like that. That was just a horrible game. I'm not doing well.
Did you get it when you saw somebody in chat said the best place to buy brooms in Boston right now?
I didn't see that. No. All right. I feel like that's as low of a note as we're going to get. And maybe that's what we should end it on. We got all the questions. We got another show coming up later though, right?
Yep, we got 2 more shows coming up later. We got Grinders Live coming up later in the day with, I'll tell you exactly who in 1 second. Pulling it up now. Grinders Live later in the day, Dean, TJ, Keith, and then Crunch Time later in the day with you 2 gentlemen and Will.
Oh, very nice. Okay, that sounds like a solid pairing. Hey, make sure to sign up for RotoGrinders Premium. Got all kinds of sports, whatever level you're looking for. 6-month combo subscription, exclusive price $469.99. That's a savings of $250 as opposed to buying 6 individual months of combo premium. You can also get your first month of RG Premium, $40 off for a limited time. And if you want to just do a little test drive, $19.99 for a 3-day pass. With that, we are going to bounce on out of here. So for TJ, for Taylor, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes, guys, we appreciate you. We love you. And we will catch you later today. You have been